I am down with people who are down with the clown. I am not one of those people, though.
Okay. Hi, welcome Claire to our show. This is the third episode of Dry Heat.
Woo!
We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of the first obvious questions I feel like I was going to ask you was about the Vanishing Show, like where it came from, how you started doing it, the logistics that some people maybe don't think about.
Yeah, of course. So, the Vanishing Show was formed out of a need. Cops were busting parties, and all the venues in Tempe were closing. Long Ones, Sail In, Rogue is closing. Like, it just kind of continues. Like, Yucca is the only one who's like really staying strong.
Yeah.
And so with that, and you know, Pete, my good friend Pete, does an event called South by South Roosevelt, and that kept getting shut down even like during the day. Was formed this thing, which was a traveling show, so that if the cops came, it wouldn't be that big of a deal and we could just pick up and move on. And then of course the novelty of, you know, getting your friends together and getting on your bike and going to these different places, and oh, there's free beer, like there's stickers this time and all these different things and these cool bands, and hopefully they sound good, but if not, then like it's gonna be okay, because there will be another house with another sound system that hopefully they sound better at. So it's really just this big spirit of Tempe camaraderie, and it's a bunch of people getting together to have fun, celebrate live music, and kind of say like, hey, like we won't accept, you know, these parties being shut down. We're gonna keep going anyways, even if they do.
Yeah.
So it's 4 bands at 4 houses, and nobody knows where they are except for me.
Cool.
And like the organizers and the bands. So an hour before the event, which is just on Facebook, that's where you can find it. I will post in the event the address of the first house, and from there you have to actually be present in order to learn where the next venues are. So people just like text their friends throughout the night, and they come in and out, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this year was really great. I've been to some of the past ones, but this one seemed like a little more put together.
Yeah, I think one of the things that helped out was I always asked the bands to source their own sound, and out of some miracle this year, all the bands had great sound. Mm-hmm. So props to Dent and Sun Trio and March and Playboy Man Baby for getting good sound and sounding really nice. Yeah. So I think that was one of the reasons why it perhaps felt so put together this year. Otherwise, the formula has been pretty much the same. All the houses, I just kind of like post a status and hope somebody wants to do it. It's very like grassroots DIY, and I think that's what makes the event so cool, is that a lot of people think like I am the only person who does anything, when in reality, all I do is set up kiddie pools with beer and drop off extension cords, and the bands and the hosts do everything else. Like, I do nothing except for be like, here's where we're going next.
And taking donations.
Taking donations and talking to the cops. I am the person who like does that.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. Like, everybody loves all the free beer and the free pizza this year, which was excellent, which is great. There was so much. But what do you do, like, when the cops come? Like, how do you communicate?
Yeah, so I have a little bit of a strategy now that I've done this 5 years in a row. And my biggest thing is that I don't watch the Vanishing Show at all. That's for everybody else. My job is making sure that when the cops come, I'm the first person who talks to them.
Yeah.
Like, my biggest fear is like them coming in and then like 80 people being like, cops! Mm-hmm. And then people are like running away and being chaotic, and then they're like, what do we need to look into?
Yeah.
You know, like there's people with alcohol everywhere, and you know, some of them.
People with alcohol on the street. So.
Yeah, it's super not legal. So I talked to them, and I find out the reason why they're here. 100% of the time it's because a neighbor called. So that's always my thing when I'm finding hosts, is making sure that they talk to their neighbors so it doesn't get shut down. And so I talked to them, see, you know, why they're there. It's always because somebody called. They always seem kind of bummed to be there because they're like, we don't, like, we don't really care that you're doing this at this point. And so they just kind of are like, well, turning it down wouldn't help. So yeah, I guess you have to shut it down. And so I was like, cool, like give me 5 minutes. And then I just like kind of break my way through and
little do they know.
And so on the, you know, if you hear me on the mic, I always say, hey, like, thanks for coming. Like, this was such a good event. Like, have a good night. And then like nobody leaves and they wait for me to whisper the next address. And then everybody breaks for like a half hour, and then we all gather back together at the next place.
Well, that's exactly what happened last time, so great job putting it on. Thank you for doing it.
Yeah, of course.
And now we have Prickly Pear.
Oh, yeah.
The lightest. Okay, well, we talked about the Vanishing Show, and I kind of wanted to know a little bit more about like some of the other things you do, like I saw a page called Keeping Phoenix Square.
Oh, Keep Phoenix Square.
Keep Phoenix Square. Betraying the Tempe Lake, which I think is awesome. And then Butthurt Tempe. Like, what are all these all about? Like,
cool. Okay. Keep Phoenix Square is a satire page that I run. I mostly use it to post about like chain restaurant openings. So if like there's a new Chipotle opening, you're gonna know about it on Keep Phoenix Square. I got hired at a call center that was contracted by Facebook, and so I was technically a Facebook employee, sort of, and I help people set up ads on the Facebook platform. And so during our training, we were instructed to make a Facebook page and then put, you know, we were given $50 of ad dollars to promote our thing. So I made Keep Phoenix Square because I thought it was stupid. And I thought training was dumb. And I was like, this is a funny idea. So I spent $50 of Facebook's money to get these new fans to celebrate corporatism in Phoenix. Keep Phoenix Square has had one event. We celebrated the grand opening of Chili's on Farmer and University. Chili's corporate found out about it and they were really excited. And they thought that, you know, we were, you know, really, really, really taking the chili mantra, welcome to Chili's, very seriously. So that was funny. And then these kids found it and they actually put on a show in the Chili's parking lot that like was conjoined with my weird Facebook event that I made. And it did get shut down within like 15 minutes. But they were like, we're going to get a generator. Like they actually like did it and it was really cool. I think RNA played it and like a couple other people who have been involved in some way, shape, or form with the Vanishing Show too. So that's Keep Phoenix Square. And then Drain Tempe Town Lake, that's the other one. So I watched the episode with Andy Warpigs and he talked a little bit about Phoenix Sucks. So again, this is a Troy Farah idea. Troy came to me and he was like, hey, I have this idea. What do you think of it? And I thought it was like the funniest thing ever. So we put together this political campaign that was centered around water preservation to get Tempe Town Lake drained. And we had stickers and brochures and a call tracking number where you could call your city council representative to request to drain the lake. And we also were on like the radio and we had a change.org petition. We kind of like went all out on it and it was really, really fun. People took us way too seriously and that was amazing. We wanted reactions regardless of, you know, what we were doing. So it turned out to be a really fun project. And whenever we did interviews for it, we acted like we were very like radical for water conservation. Like I was telling people that I didn't consume alcohol because it's a dehydrator and stuff. And like I was like, there shouldn't be golf courses and all these things. So we really took it to the extreme. But they did drain Tempe Town like at some point while we were in the project because they had to repair the dam.
And then you claimed victory.
So we won.
Awesome. Well, up next we got Smoky Habanero. It's hard to deny habanero.
Yeah, habanero is really good.
Well, I went back on some of your social media and I found some photos that stuck out to me, and I'm gonna ask for a little bit of an explanation here.
Great. I hope it was the bologna. Oh, great. I was a Treasure Mammal dancer for 4 years. So what that entails is believing in teamwork and getting really drunk with people who are older than you who party harder than you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think that photo is from Brutal Sunfest, which my friend Logan Green put together this mega festival for, I think, 4 years in Tucson.
I think this might be related.
No, it's not exactly related.
Okay.
It's closely related. That was shortly either before I joined Treasure Mammal or like right during that period of time. But Abe's girlfriend at the time had a Halloween party, and it was like the week after Halloween, so nobody wanted to wear their like normal, like the costumes that they had already worn out.
Yeah.
So a bunch of friends and I decided to dress up as juggalos, and we did that.
Nice.
Yeah, and
so there's no juggalo like lifestyle.
No, I am down with people who are down with the clown. I am not one of those people, though.
Okay. That's fair.
There's also a lot of juggalo culture that crosses over with Treasure Mammal, though, so that was like a part of that time where also members of Treasure Mammal would dress up as juggalos for for the show.
That's cool. Looks fun.
Yeah.
Alright, last one here. I just thought this one was really cool, so.
Oh yeah, that's a rad one. So that's me, and then Becky, who DJs under the name Becktron. That's us on stage at the Van Buren. We're DJing The Guilty Pleasures Lady Gaga versus Kesha night. So she had Lady Gaga and I had Kesha, and we were doing back to back for like 45 minutes, and somehow that photo was taken.
Nice.
And my boyfriend took that photo, I think. Almost like 90% possible.
That's so funny because it looks like you guys are doing something really serious.
No, we're concentrating. We also were using a mixer that like wasn't ours, and so you know, when you're new to gear and you're in front of 600 people, 700 people, it can be intimidating.
Yeah, that does sound intimidating.
Yeah, that's why we're so serious. So we're trying not to mess up.
Well, up here next we got Three Kings. So I don't know a whole lot about like the DJ culture or like electronic music, especially locally. I know that you do some of that. Could you like give us a breakdown of what's going on?
Yeah, so from my take on it, there's kind of two different kinds of DJs. There's ones that play just like songs, they go song to song, and there's the ones that are more like production, making their own beats, you know, less of a song curator and more of like a production musician type thing. I fall in the song to song DJ
For sure.
group. It's really cool when people, you know, do that, and I have a lot of respect for people who do that, the production side, but it's just not for me.
Cool. We're here on the Ghost Pepper God's Wrath. You ready?
Yes. This one's kind of gross.
I like this one.
This is the one you said was your favorite. God's Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Not a fan.
it's just kind of, when you get up the chain, it just gets grosser. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the events I've seen that you've been kind of running lately is it just maintenance, or is it like maintenance Mondays, or?
So, it started out being called Maintenance Mondays, but then we started doing it on other days, and so we dropped the Mondays.
Yeah.
So it's just maintenance. So my friend Davina is also another vinyl DJ, and together we started a collective called Maintenance. And what we do is we play around the valley and showcase various other vinyl DJs who are either, anybody who's really just like not a man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, other genders, women, anything, we want to showcase people and their talent, and it doesn't have to be DJs. We've had people come out with zine libraries and just like random things that they're doing. So we just want to showcase what people are doing and support them and have them be a part of our night. So it's really small scale, but we have fun with it.
Cool. Well, we're heading down to Ass and Hell.
Great.
I was just wondering if you kind of like sensed or seen like a different demographic between Phoenix and Tempe shows.
Oh yeah, it's a lot different. But like different in like a good way. Like each place has something special, but like Phoenix has their shit together in terms of like real venues. And even like real DIY venues like Trunk Space, and like Trunk Space has their shit together. They've been doing it for so long. Like they're a non-profit now. You can donate to them and write it off in your taxes. Like how cool is that?
Yeah.
Donate to Trunk Space. And then like from all the stuff that Charlie and Stateside does, like Valley Crescent, Van Buren, all those places, like that's amazing. And they have like these infrastructures put in place where like you can open for like crazy bands. Like if you're a local band and you see that this like really cool show is coming that you want to be on, you can like hit them up and be like, hey, can I do this? And like you might be able to do that.
And if you don't, asking is for free. So.
Yeah, exactly. Which is amazing. Like we have that infrastructure in place with like a mostly non-corporate, like booking company that's all local with local people that are around that like is an awesome support to Phoenix, and they do amazing things. In terms of Tempe, we've got a bunch of trash can venues plus Yucca.
What would you put in that category?
Well, I'm thinking of a lot of the old ones, like like we all know that like Long Long's was trash can.
It was a little stingy.
Like Rogue Bar is a trash can. They have trash cans at Rogue Bar. They have a drink called the trash can.
Oh.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah. Get it before it closes.
Seriously, go get a trash can before they close.
Yeah.
Yucca's great. And then the other ones are just inconsistent. Like there's not always stuff at Timeout. There's whatever 51 West is doing right now, and Marquee is what it is. It's over there doing their thing.
Yeah, they
just exist.
It's not a community thing.
No, it's not like conducive to local music. So
Yeah,
it's great for that they bring in the acts that they do. But in terms of local music, it's kind of like a non thing.
Yeah.
I think somebody really needs to like come in and do it right, and fulfill that need, because we have a need for it. It's just nobody has really done it in the way that is conducive to what Tempe needs.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're here.
We did it.
Last swing. All right, this is the Ultra Death Sauce.
The first time I did the lineup, that I was telling you about because I've done this before. When I got to Blair's, I got sick. So this is progress.
Whew. Yeah, but anyway, okay, so we're here. We just did our last one. Alright, do you have any personal plugs that you have? Things going on in the future? Vanishing Show still continuing?
I'm really excited to take a break from doing things, which is cool. So it's like an anti-plug. But one of the things that I want to do, I can't talk yet. Hang on. You'd think that like putting water in your mouth would like help. It just doesn't. It doesn't do anything. Like breathing is what makes it worse. Ugh.
Yeah, it's not good.
Nope, I'm not ready yet. One of the things that I want to do is be a resource for people who also want to do vanishing shows in other cities. So if you, dear listener, want to do a vanishing show, please hit me up and I will help you do that.
Sweet.
Yeah. I'm crying.
Alright, well, thank you so much for coming on, Claire. We really appreciate it, and we really appreciate the work that you put into these shows. You're a great person that's helping out the community, so thank you 1,000 times. And this is Crunch Time Dry Heat Episode 3. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye!
Fuck this sauce.